I'm Chris Berman. Let's get straight to the action. In our first game this week, we had the Seahawks narrowly coming out on top by 5. In an AFC South matchup, we had the Jaguars win their 5th game of the season. The Bengals won this contest, but will stay at the 3rd place in the AFC North. Antoine Winfield played well despite the loss and showed us why he's ranked up at the top of the league. Patriots, Jets. Showed us Mike Vrabel was in the right place at the right time, as his interception was a possible momentum shifter. The Patriots win this one by the final score of 22-7. Lavernius Coles pulled down 100-plus receiving yards and helped his Redskins beat the Cowboys. Down in South Florida, Miami, we had the Dolphins decisively win by 17 points. Down in New Orleans, we had the Saints get sent away with a 7-point loss. Raiders, Chiefs. 7-point Eric Warfield would come up with a huge play here as he was able to pick one off here, then had some clear sailing in front of him. The Chiefs go on to win this by the final score of 17-3. The Bears defense held their opponents to under 50 rushing yards in their win at Ford Field. The Colts won at home, but will take to the road next week to meet the Broncos. The 49ers won this contest, but will stay at the 2nd place in the NFC West. We had an interesting free agency pickup of note here. Trey's got the lowdown for us. Trey?
All right, Chris. Let's switch gears and talk about players that'll have new homes in the National Football League, as free agency continues to play such a huge role in determining a team's makeup. Kenny Holmes is on the move. Perhaps not for all that he thought he'd get, but a good deal nonetheless. 2 years, $3.0 million. Trung Candidate will also have a new address for a while as he signs a 4-year contract with the Bills. Lester Towns will be playing his football elsewhere, though perhaps not for as much as he would have liked. 2 years, $1.2 million. In front of you, we've got the AFC Infirmary Report. And as you can see, they were hit hard this week. Roosevelt Colvin sticks out on this list as one of the more costly injuries. A broken elbow is the culprit. He's out for the rest of the season. In front of you, we've got the NFC list. And as you can see, they could form their own mash unit. Kevin Barlow is probably the one that most leaps out at you. He'll be out for the rest of the regular season. Now, on to even bigger news, as you may have already heard. Derek Smith had to be placed on injured reserve, so he'll be on the sidelines for the rest of the year. Just a key blow to the heart of his defense. So that'll do it for now. Chris, let's send it back to you.
Ravens, Steelers. Ed Reed would come up with the big play to kill a drive as he was able to step in front of a wayward pass for an INT. The Ravens win this one by the final score of 17-7. Torrey Holt had a stellar game, but all said and done, his performance wasn't enough to lift his team to a victory. In a long-standing NFC rivalry, we had the Buccaneers pick up their 11th win of the year. And in our final game, we had the Titans come away victorious. So let's change things up a bit and turn to a guy that's had his eye on the college game, and that's our own Mel Kiper Jr. He joins us now. Mel, your work never ends, I know. Believe me, I know better than anybody else. But it's never too early to start thinking about next year's draft, is it?
Well, you're absolutely right. And with the college bowl season upon us, a lot of guys view their upcoming bowl game as more or less an open audition for NFL scouts everywhere. Brooks is one guy I look at who's come a long way the past couple of years to be where he is now. 6'2", 273, out of Washington. And when you look at the tight ends that are going to make themselves available this year, this guy's one of the top ones around. He's got good size, obviously, but he's got good deceptive speed as well, and he could fit right into the West Coast offense. Perry is another guy whose play is making NFL scouts sit up and take notice. He's very active for a linebacker and possesses both the speed to stay with receivers and also the strength to be a factor in stopping the run. So that'll do it for now, but expect there to be plenty happening between now and April.
Yes, indeed, just 1 week to go and the playoff picture's starting to take shape. But still some areas that'll need to be cleared up next weekend. We'll start with a look at the AFC playoff picture. And now checking things out over in the NFC playoff race. So there you have it. Still plenty of intrigue left in this NFL season, as the homestretch madness is only just beginning. And that'll do it from here. Chris, let's send it back over to you.
That'll do it here for Pivotal Week 16. As always, plenty of surprises to go around and plenty of intrigue still to come. My primetime players each took his team to the next level, and each is going to take home a game ball. Great work, fellas. That'll do it, sports fans. I'm Chris Berman, and thanks so much for joining us here in the Bristol studios. We'll see you next week right here on ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.